I enjoy telling my story, and I just hope that people will believe enough of my story that they will try it. And if they will try it, eventually they will realize some of the same benefits that I have received. I'd been the caregiver for my wife. I was starting to have a severe problem at that point, in that I was having problems with shooting pains in my legs, and it was hardly possible for me to even prepare a meal for the two of us. And I remember praying more earnestly than I ever had in my life. And I said, Lord, I need something that's not really short of a miracle. I continued to take care of her for another year and a half until she passed away in January of 2012. And I guess the stress of everything had taken its toll on me. And a month later, I had kind of the ultimate in a heart event that nearly took my life. I was told on the operating table that there was no more hope for me. There was nothing more that they could do. And they were just going to take me back to the room and keep me comfortable, I guess, until I died. And I called my family in that day, and I told them all goodbye. I'm sorry I get a little emotional about this, but anyhow, after the initial shock wore off, I decided that I'm not going to go down without a fight. And so there were things that I did in my life, that I changed in my life. I went through 48 sessions in cardiac rehab, which was very beneficial. And then I found out about a diet that had come out of the Cleveland Clinic that it was so beneficial. But it wasn't until I came across or was introduced to the stem cell products that I really finally reached the epitome of what I was trying to achieve. The first product that I started on was the Stem Enhance Ultra, and within a couple of weeks I started noticing some things that were happening. One, my balance. I was starting to have problems with my balance, and all of a sudden my balance was better. And then it was just one thing after another. I'd had some arthritic problems in my knees and hips, and I thought I was at one point was going to have a hip replacement and so on, but I received so much benefit in my right knee and my right hip, I could hardly tell it from the left one. I had digestive problems, and day by day the digestive problems improved. But then finally, with the help of not only the Stem Enhance Ultra, I got on the plasma flow, I've been on the Cyactive joint. And I don't know what's doing what, but I went to the cardiologist and he said, "This is unbelievable." He says, "I can't hardly tell. I really can't tell that you ever had heart problems. Your heartbeat is so strong, so steady. Any irregularities in the heartbeat are gone. Any of the problems that you had with your heart failing is gone." And I too realized that I really couldn't tell that I had ever had heart problems. And so I've been so richly blessed, and usually I had to go to the cardiologist every 3 months and so on. This time he said, "You're doing so well. I want you to get out of here and not come back for a year." And so that was such good news. But my quality of life is so unbelievably good. It really does surprise me. I'm 85 years old, and I've noticed a lot of my friends over the last 10 years have not done as well as what I have. And so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. There's just so many benefits, it's hard to remember them all. I had always had an image of somebody that was in the range of about 85, and they seemed to hardly know where they were. They were kind of futzing around and just out of it. And I'm not that way. My mind is still very good. I'm alert. I'm physically active and so on. I don't feel 85. It's really a strange thing, because I don't feel a day over 60. And in many respects, I feel better than when I was 35 or 40. And at the time I was overweight. I was having severe digestive problems, and my life was much worse than what it is today. So I feel so richly blessed to be able to get up every morning of the world feeling absolutely great. Not just some mornings, but every morning of the world. It's that way. The thing that really attracted me was the product, because of the problems that I've had in the past. And you're constantly seeking to try to improve your life and so on. So that was the thing that really attracted me. But having been involved in various kinds of network marketing, I'm always interested also in what kind of a compensation plan there is to go along with it. And I was very impressed with that. I was really into the product, and so I spent a lot of time sharing the product story with so many people. And a certain number of people, either believe me or they do their own research, and gradually building a group of customers and some other IBOs. But that's how I got into it. There are some good bonuses at the outset, which I think is very important. It's important that people can get out of the starting blocks and get some kind of a check very early in the game. If you can get them to that point where they're earning $500 or $1,000 a month, you probably got them pretty well locked in. In other words, they'll go on with it, as opposed to just drifting away. The first month that I was involved in it, I actually was off on a trip for 3 weeks out of the month, and somehow in the first month I still made $1,000, which surprised me. And it was a start. And I really don't have to be in this business for the living, but the potential is there. It absolutely is there. The objective was to enroll a total of 10 either customers or IBOs during the month of January. And it got down to the last day, and I still needed some. And so there was one person I enrolled as a customer, not knowing that it really would not count, because I guess the shipping would not take place till the following day, the 1st of February. Well, anyhow, I had a little dispute over that, but I was so impressed the way it was handled, and I was so overly impressed that the owner, Andy Goodwin, called me. I've never had that happen before. And I just thought it was so neat that the person at the top would take his time to reach out to me. And I was very impressed with that. And I knew that this was a company I would like to continue to be associated with when they take care of problems in such a total, complete manner. I was very impressed. When a product has done this, provided you with this kind of a benefit, then you're so anxious to spread the good news. I was trained as an evangelist 40 years ago in sharing the good news, and now I feel like I'm kind of an evangelist in a different way, but sharing this good news. And I know some people, when you approach them and talk to them, they may think that I'm trying to sell them something. In my case, that isn't the case, because I want them to experience the same thing I do. And so that's what really motivates and drives me. You're going to have to invest time in learning about the product, study the videos, study all the written material you can get your hands on. And as you gain that knowledge, you gain a great deal of confidence, and that will give you the confidence to go out and talk to people. I find that if you don't do that, the person will always be telling themselves, I really don't know much about this product, so I am afraid to go out and talk to anybody. I tell people, don't be afraid to get out there on the firing line. And if people ask you a question, you don't know it, tell them, I don't have an answer, but I'll get you an answer. But you need to get out of the starting blocks quick. Don't just sit there and say, well, I'll wait for 6 months to kind of see what happens. Well, you need to make some things happen. Studying, talking to people, sharing. I've studied successful network marketing people over the years, and the ones that succeed don't do all the talking. They ask questions and more questions. They keep digging. As one of the colleagues said once, you have to find what the person's pain is. Not necessarily just physical pain, it might be physical pain, but do you have financial pain? What are the pains in your life? And get them to respond. And if you can get people to respond and answer the questions, pretty soon you have them in a position where you can probably interest them in the business, or they become interested in the business. Over the years, I've been associated with a lot of different network marketing programs. And in some cases, the product was good, but the compensation plan was lousy. In some cases, both of those were good, but the company was not solid financially. And in so many cases, you worked hard, you worked your heart out, and everything went down the drain. It has to be a product that people will come back and repeat on. They absolutely get a benefit from it, and they repeat. If you have that in a business, then you have all the building blocks for it to grow and build solidly. And so that was the thing that I recognized with Cerule, even after a short period of time, that I liked the product, I liked the compensation plan, I liked the people, I thought the company was solid. So you could feel comfortable in putting your heart and soul into this, working your heart out. And if you keep doing that consistently, it's hard not to have success, really.